So yeah, I think it's about time we get started. So good morning, everyone. Today's lesson is gonna be a long kind of grammar lesson in which we will find excuse me, in which we will find different lessons. So unfortunately, today I don't think we will have time to do reading comprehension. So the main focus will be on grammar. But maybe if we have time, we will do it. If you want to, it's a plus for you. And I suggest something else. I suggest that if you want to do the comprehension, please do it and then send it to me via email, and I will correct it for you. Okay, so with that being said, let's dive into today's course. So let's see. So in today's lesson, we will talk about simple sentences. So, what are simple sentences? A simple sentence is a sentence in which it's also called an independent clause. It contains only a subject and a verb, and then a complement. It could be an adverbial clause, or it could be something else. Like here, let's see this example. We performed a lab experiment. So here we have subject in green, and we have verb, and we have a complement of a sentence. So we have a lab experiment. So this is what is known as a simple sentence. It's very basic. It is very different from compound sentence or complex sentence. We will see that in a minute. Just give me 1 second. I need to find something. So yeah, what I was saying. Very sorry. Today I'm very sick. I have been actually sick for the last past week, and it doesn't seem to go over. But anyways, I will do my best to deliver a quality lesson with the voice that I have today. So yeah, I was saying that a simple sentence is only one simple clause, means one idea or maybe one verb, if you will. But it's not always the case. Maybe sometimes you have helping verbs or. But yeah, in general, it's one clause. Like for example, I was hungry. Okay, so this is a simple sentence. And one other simple sentence is, or one other clause, independent clause is I ate dinner, right? So this is a simple sentence. But if we relate the two clauses together, we will get a compound sentence. I was hungry. So I ate dinner, right? So this is two clauses linked with a conjunction. So yeah, that's the main idea. That's what's a simple sentence. So let's try to see what else the course is trying to tell us. So they say that above examples are simple sentences. Not we can form simple sentences with a subject and a verb in a single clause. With a subject and a verb in a single clause. We can include auxiliary verbs as part of the verb phrase. and a verb after the verb. So here, what they're trying to say is that sometimes you don't have one verb. Sometimes it's a verbal phrase. Like here, we have a helping verb. The computer has stopped. Here, some people might argue that there are two verbs, but no, it's actually just one verbal sentence. Okay, what else can we add? We can use verbs with an object. Yeah, so sometimes there are phrases there are verbs that they don't need an object. The the sentence is clear without anything else, and there are verbs that need an object. Let me try to see if I can find a good example. Well, anyways, that's I don't want to dig too much into the detail like I did with your classmates. I told them that it doesn't really matter for me details. What matters for me is that you understand what's a simple sentence and what's a compound sentence. So let me rephrase that one more time. A simple sentence is an independent clause. Really, it's also called. It's mainly that idea. It means that it's one clause that has a complete meaning. For example, we have performed a lab experiment. Okay. With that being said, let's try to see what word order is. So in English, usually we have some kind of regulations or maybe suggestions for to forming the word of the order of the phrases. Word order, in other words. So, like for example, here it says that the subject of a sentence is usually put before the verb, except in questions. Yeah, here, like let's see the first general rule that we have to know. Uh, Here they say that in a sentence, usually we put the verb. Uh, yeah, we put the subject before the verb, like I I eat. I have no idea what's wrong with Word today. Okay, I eat an apple. Right. So here the subject is before the verb, but usually in a question context we invert it. It says like, can I eat an apple? The verb is before the subject. So yeah, before we go any further, is it clear? Did I say some sense or did I say some nonsense to you? Okay, I suppose that it's pretty clear. Please make sure to deactivate your mics, Mr. Hamouti. Please, the microphone. It's not a big bother, but kinda. Anyways, So yeah. So so till now we spoke about simple sentences and word order. We have said that a simple sentence is an independent clause, and it consists of only one. I mean, it consists of only a subject, a verb, and a phrase, like or a complement. So yeah, well, about word order, we have said that the first rule that we know is that the subject is usually put before the verb, except in questions. Except in questions, it's the opposite. When we invert the order between subject and verb, usually it's to phrase a question. Okay, so let's see with adverbs. Adverbs go before adjectives. Okay, so yeah, this is another interesting rule is that sorry, adverbs. So usually when we have adverbs, they go before adjectives. Like here, it's a good example. We have it's reasonably cheap. It's a reasonably cheap copy. Or he did a pretty decent job. Usually, usually here the adverb is before the subject. Here the adverb describes the subject, decent. Okay, what else? What else? After verbs of movement, come, go, arrive, run, we often use adverbs of place first. So yeah, she moves to the adverb after verbs of movement. Okay, what else do we have? I remember that we didn't do this kind of detail with your classmates, anyways, because we haven't really seen what's an adverb of time, what are what are verbs of movement. We only know what's a verb and what's an adverb, or maybe barely. I don't know if you remember the last lesson that we did. Okay, let's see what we have with adjectives. So adjectives usually come before the noun, also known as head word. Okay, so here we have a good example. Electrical engineers use graphics to design circuits. So in this example, the adjective came before the noun, which makes sense. But yeah, those are really guidelines. I encourage you to read them and try to understand them. But I am pretty sure that we will see if we got it or not on the exercise. So I want you to try to do this exercise, then we will do it together. Okay? Take a few minutes and then we will do it. Sorry. So yeah, John or Jan maybe Jan works at a computer shop on Saturday mornings. Yes, correct. And what else? We rarely see rugby on TV these days. So yeah, I'm glad that yes, you got it. For your information, it's gonna be exams like this on. I mean, sorry, there's gonna be questions like this on the exam, so it's gonna be fairly simple. We're gonna do these kinds of exercise when you have to reorder words or to fill in blanks. So she will probably win the race. Yes. What else? I ordered a computer a few weeks ago. Uh, Mary went. Mary quietly went upstairs. Or we can say Mary went upstairs quietly. But there was a rule for this. It says that adverbs are usually preferred to go before adjectives. So here we have to say that Mary. No, there's no objective here. I'm sorry. Yeah, so I see that you have done the exercise. It's kind of simple, right? Okay, let's try to finish it. Can I join the school mailing list? Yes. So uh I bought a new Sony music play port a portable a new Sony portable music player or something like this. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, exactly. And then okay, let's try to correct it. So maybe for for those of you who don't see the chat box, we won't be able to have a correction. Let's try to solve it. Okay. So yeah. So the exercise is kind of easy. I will try to send you a correction for those of you that will come later. I know that most of you aren't here. So I'm just gonna remind myself to to send you the correction later. Okay, so yeah, with that being done, let's try to do the let's try to do second part of the course. So here also, I'm not gonna go into the details because it's not necessary in my opinion. But a relative clause we have already talked about earlier. So we have said that we have a simple sentence or or an independent clause, right? So in English we have also relative clause. So when we have a compound sentence, I mean when we have two clauses, the second clause often gives us more information about someone or something in the first or main clause. So second clauses often begin with which, that, or who. That are and are called relative clauses. Relative clause usually tells us something more about the object or the main clause. So let's try to find an example. So a blogger is a person who keeps a weblog, a blog, or publishes an online diary. So notice that here the main sentence or the main clause is a blogger is a person, and who keeps a weblog is the relative clause. Here, if you can see, I don't know if you can notice, but a blogger is a person. Can stand on its own, but the relative clause can't be alone in a text or in a sentence because the meaning is not complete. Here, if you read it, who keeps a weblog or publishes an online diary, so it's not complete. So these are known as relative clauses. They are here to give more information about the main clause. So it's a complement of the simple sentence. And I think that this is all we need to see for the time being. All those are not really necessary for the time being. Okay, so I hope that is clear. Okay, so let's see. There are some advantages. The relative clause is missing a subject if you use it alone. Yes, exactly. Yeah. So you cannot use the relative clause alone. You have to. It is used to give more information about the main clause. Okay, I'm glad. That's really the whole. That's the whole. The whole objective of the lesson is complete. Let's try to see if we can do the exercise really quick together, so we can move along to the second part. So look at the help box, then complete the sentences with suitable relative pronouns. With pronouns. So I'm gonna do the first and second one, and then we'll see. That's the computer that I'd like to buy. Or we have in the second one, Core 2 Duo is a new Intel processor. Also that, or which contains that, which contains about 291 million transistors. So yeah, here let's try to analyze a little bit. So Core 2 Duo is a new Intel processor. It's here is the main clause, and we have a relative clause that gives more information, which is that contains about 200 million transistors. So yeah, that's really the whole. If you understand this, you have understood the whole lesson. That's my opinion on this. Okay, so I see we have lots of participation in the chat box, and I see that yeah, it's all true. It's all correct. So let's try to do it together really quick. A webmaster is a person that designs or who designs. Yeah. For person, we have to use a person's relative pronoun. A bus is an electric pathway that carries signals. Here's the DVD that you lent me. Last night I met someone who works as GM software. Okay, so that's the part A. Part B. Complete the sentence using who, which, that, who, whose, or where. So she works for a company who. No, not whose. Let's try to see if you can try on it. Let's take 2 minutes and do the exercise, and then we'll correct it together, okay? Hello, I'm sorry, I'm back. Sorry for the disturbance. So, have you tried to do have you tried to do the exercise? Okay, so let's try to correct it together. So she works for the company. Here, the example is kind of wrong, but yeah, she works for a company where the main office is in Rome. They invented a digital video camera that can be carried away. Do you know the school where he studied? The man who married Sue is a millionaire. Sue is a lucky woman. Okay, she will be responsible for anything that goes wrong. Okay, so yeah. So we have finished this first course. Uh, what I wanted to say is that so yeah, I'm gonna just speak briefly about the course. So we have seen natural clause. Sorry, natural clause. Simple sentence, which is an independent clause, and then we have seen a compound sentence, which is a simple sentence or an independent clause accompanied with another clause that we call relative clause, and it is usually linked with a conjunction or something like this. And we have also seen word order, which is kind of regulations to use when we are forming phrases, and it is kind of orders that is preferably used in English. Okay, with that being said, this course is done. Let's try to do. Let's try to see the other ones. I'm gonna stop the presentation here, and I'm gonna launch the next one. Okay, so let me try to present. If you don't know already, I told you that the courses can be all found in the Google Drive that I shared the link with your classmates, so you can find it later. Okay, so yeah, I want you to try to read this lesson. It's very easy. Just give it 2 or 5 or 10 minutes read, and then we will see together. And I'm sure that we will be able to finish the course in no time. So yeah, please give it a good read. Okay, so I trust you have read the text or the lesson. Let's try to read it together. So today we will see four tenses, which are very simple in English. We will see the present simple. See, it says that it's simple. Just kidding. Present simple, present continuous, past simple, and past continuous. So yeah, without further ado, let's try and see. So for the present simple, we have uh, we have two forms to consider to make a verb in present. We have the formula subject plus verb or subject plus verb plus s. It all depends on the subject. If it's he or she or it, we have to add s. Or if it's not he, she, or it, we don't have to. We have to not add s. Like I work at home, or you have no limit. You don't add s in the end. Only when it's he or she or it. So he cooks his own meals. So here we have he cooks his own meals. We can also add the gator spots the intruder. Here is the gator, and if you want to replace the gator, it will be he. So we have to put s. He spots the intruder. Also, if there are some verbs that are hard to pronounce, we can add es. Like for example, he encompasses. So here we didn't add s. It will be three s. It will be ugly. We added es in the end of the verb. So this is a verb in present simple. We also have, so this is a very simple tense. We have the second tense, which is present continuous, which is a tense used to for an action that's ongoing now. Like I am eating dinner, all is going well. So yeah, that's about it. One thing I forgot to mention here about present simple is that it is added usually to say some general truths or some facts or some kind of action that that happens all the time, every day, like regularly on time. Like for example, I do my shopping or I do my laundry every day. This is an action that's repeated over and over and over. And we have general truths like uh, iron melts when you heat it. Okay, but yeah, moving on, we have present continuous. It is an action that started now and it is ongoing. It takes a little while. I'm eating dinner. I am studying. I'm preparing the exam. I am listening to my teacher. So for how to you formulate a verb in present continuous, the formula is pretty simple. We use this. So we have to use be in present, and then verb, and then ing. For example, I am looking through the window. So we have used be in present. And then the verb is looking through the window. Okay, let's see for simple tense, simple pasts. We use the simple tense for finished actions that happened in the past. In the past, I cleaned my room last year. I delivered the package. I had breakfast this morning, and I was busy last week. So all of those are tenses. All of those are actions that happened in the past, and they are finished. To formulate a verb in simple past, it's it's easy. It's easy. It's still simple. We only have we only have one thing to consider when we're gonna say if we're gonna use a simple past tense. We have to ask ourselves: is this a regular verb or is it an irregular verb? If it's a regular verb, It's kind of simple. We use subject, verb plus ed in the end. For example, I watched TV. So the verb is what to to watch, and we add ed to the end. It becomes watched. Now, if it's not a regular verb, it's an irregular verb. The verb changes into a completely different form, and unfortunately, there are no ways to around this. We have to learn the 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 past formula or the past form of the verb. For example, do becomes did, drink becomes drank, eat becomes ate, go went, have had, run ran. So yeah, with experience, with practice, if you're a beginner in English, don't worry too much. All you have to do is practice and practice, and read lots, and you will have most of the irregular verbs in your head. For those of you who are perfectionists, who wants to learn much more irregular verbs, I have included a comprehensive list of irregular verbs, which you can consult from the link below. This one. Okay, what else? Before I move on, we have an exercise for simple past, but we will do it in the end. Let's go to past continuous. Past continuous is used for long actions in the past. It is like present continuous, but it's in the past. In a nutshell, it's used for actions in the past that takes a lot of time to finish. So yeah, it's an action that actually started in the past and it's continuous. It can be yeah. So yeah, like for example, we have I was calling my friend and I was cooking dinner. So yeah, with that being said, the formula is also simple. It is like in the present continuous, but the be is conjugated to the past. So we use be plus verb plus ing. For example, I was calling my friend or I was cooking dinner. Okay, so I think it's all clear. I don't think there is any ambiguity. I couldn't find good exercises for most of the tense. I found this good exercise for past simple. So please give it a try and then we'll correct it together as always. I'll just find my charger, meanwhile. So I'm gonna correct this. I'm gonna correct this for you because it's very easy. I ate dinner. Did Helen drive to work? Yes, she did. My neighbors bought a new car. They went to Italy last summer. Did they swim at the beach? No, they did not, or they didn't. My family and I saw a comedy movie last night. First, we did exercise and then we drank. Suddenly, the animal jumped, and bit my hand. What time did you get up? Flew the first airplane in 1903. I think I heard a strange nerd. When I was 10 years old, I broke. My arm is really hurt. The police caught. How many times did you read that book? I forgot to bring my one. Okay. Okay, so yeah, that's done. With that being done, I think that this grammar lesson is over. Unless you have any questions or any stuff, you can ask me before we move on. We move on, or you can send me an email later. Okay, let's go for the next lesson. So active vs passive lesson, vs passive form. So yeah, let's just read it together without further delay. So yeah, voice refer. So this lesson is all about the active versus passive form voice. So the voice refers to the form of a verb that indicates when a grammatical subject performs the action or is the receiver of action. So this is kind of the key of the whole lesson. So when we want to, well, let's continue reading and then I'll tell you. When a sentence is written in the active voice, the subject performs the action, while in the passive voice, the subject receives the action. So when we want to know what's an active or passive voice, we have to ask ourselves this question: does the subject perform the action, or does he receive the action? If he performs it, then the sentence is in active, or when he receives it, it's in passive. For example, the award-winning chef prepares each meal with loving care. Here, the subject is award-winning chef. Okay, so the chef prepares each meal, which means that the chef performs the action of preparing meals, right? Well, in the passive form, we have each meal is prepared with love, with with love, with loving care by the award-winning chef. Okay, so yeah. Here, each meal is prepared with loving care. So here the subject is each meal, and here they are. Here the subject meal is receiving the action of being prepared. So here the whole sentence is in passive. So in the above example of an active sentence, the simple subject is chef, and prepares is the verb. The chef prepares each meal with loving care. So in the passive sentence is the opposite. I just explained it. Although both sentences have the same basic components, their structure makes them different from each other. Active sentences are about what people or things do, while passive sentences are about what happens to people or things. Let's try to see the some kinds of examples. So he hired me. Here, the subject he did the action of hiring me. If I want to phrase it in the passive voice, I will say that I am hired. Here, I is the subject, and being hired is the action that I am receiving. So here we have this interesting rule is that we can help ourselves using the auxiliary verb be. So we have to, or yeah, maybe in most cases we have to use be, the verb be to phrase a passive voice. The passive voice is formed by using a form of auxiliary be, am, is, are, was, were, being, been, followed by the past participle of the main verb. So here I am hired, the children were taken to the circus, and my money was stolen. So here we have used the auxiliary verb be to form a passive voice. Okay, so yeah, I think that's pretty clear. Active and passive voice, we have seen that many times in middle school and high school, right? I hope that everything is clear. Do you have any questions before we try to do the exercises or not? Is it clear or there are ambiguities? No questions? Okay, okay. I will assume that all of you heard the lesson and that you understand. I hope, because these are going to be in the exam. Anyways, so for these exercises, I will try to correct them really quick, and that would be a complete lesson. Okay, so go through the sentence given below and identify the voice used. Sharia sings beautiful songs. Active. The sun sets in the west. Active. The boy was being beaten by his teacher. Passive. Bucky is helped by Steve. Passive. The carpenter is building the desk. Active. The woodcutter cut down the tree. Active. The man dropped his axe into the river. Active. The bird was shot. Passive. The bag was found by me. Passive. Natasha lost the body. Active. The farmer will plough the field. Active. The work will be finished by the workers in a day. Passive. Wait, yeah, passive. The enemy has entered the war zone. active. Who sang the song? So the subject here is who sang the song active. The children tease the animals active. Okay, so yeah. With that being done, let's go for the second exercise. So here we have to change the sentence from active to passive voice. So the dog chased the cat. The cat was being chased by the dog. The dog bit my boy. The dog bit the boy. The boy was beaten by the dog. The peon rang the bell. The bell was rang by the peon. Rami played hockey. Hockey was played by Rami. Miss Marty teaches us English. English is being taught to us by Miss Mary. Raj caught the ball. The ball was caught by Raj. Children like sweets. Sweets are liked by children. Rita will take a photograph. A photograph will be taken by Rita. Who taught you this poem? By whom have you been taught this poem? Huh? Oh, me, sure, without E. The police arrested the smuggler. The smuggler was arrested by the police. A kite was being flown. Flown. Past participle of fly. I always forget it. Participle fly. Flown, yeah. Being flown by Shiva. And lastly, the deer was shot by the hunter. Okay, so so that being done, do you guys have any questions? Is it ambiguous? Is it clear? Is it not understandable? So yeah, we have reached the end of the lesson today. We actually did it really fast, but I think that every one of you understood since the exercises are done and everything. So yeah, for the exam, there will be questions just like these. We'll do a reading comprehension, There will be questions about the text. There will be questions about grammar. So I do hope that you prepare everything. Revise your lessons, and if there are any questions, you can always address them to my email. I will share with you my email, but yeah, try to not spam me too much. Of course, I mean, of course, if there are any questions, I would love to answer them, but ah, I I have just seen the chat. I thought that you guys weren't participating at all. Eh, it's a catastrophe. Okay, okay. Let's try to see that. Honestly, I haven't seen the chat. I thought that I was talking to myself. Honestly, and when I saw that there wasn't any participation, I just finished it. Okay, so I see that some of you did the exercise of a past simple. Carita, honestly. Well, okay. So let's try to answer all of your questions from order. Well, we can use. Some people said why the auxiliary verb be while being. Why not just well? For me, for it's correct either way. But for me, I always use the auxiliary verb be because it's easier for me. It's one formula that I can add to any tense, any formula, or any form of verb, right? This is why I always use uh, be auxiliary, and we did it, and we saw it in the lesson. It's a good help. Okay, so someone asked me if there will be any other sessions. No, I have made sure to include everything that we need in this one lesson, so I can let you do other things. I know that you are very busy with preparing the exam, so this will be the last lesson. But like I said, you can always ask me anything in the email. So yeah, thank you very much for everyone that participated. I honestly didn't see it, and I'm very sorry I didn't see it. But yeah, thank you for participating and for listening. Uh, are there any questions before we part ways? Is it all clear or is it still ambiguous, Lil? Yes, Mr. Light, please. Okay, in the something. Let me go back. The dog chased the cat. Okay. What about it? Okay, so why in the past I have said the cat was being chased by the dog? Okay, so yeah, it's a good question. Well, it's correct. What you have said is correct. Why not The cat was chased by the dog. It's correct. But like I said in the lesson, usually or mostly, for me, I always do it. We use the auxiliary verb be to to help us structure the to help us structure the sentence. If we use be, for me, it's way easier to structure the passive voice with be. I apply only one formula and it works every time. So this is why I do it. But if you can formulate passive without it, it's okay also. It's also true. Look, check out the examples I have included. He hired, I am hired. We took the children were taken. And a thief stole my money was stolen. Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, we change the form of the phrase from active to passive. So don't have to use the same form of the verb for both sentences? You mean the same tense? Like
Sir,
past what? Tell me that again, sorry.
sir, I have a question about the first sentence.
Okay.
The first sentence, when we say the dog is chasing the cat,
Okay.
in the passive form, we should say the cat was being chased. But if we say the dog chased the cat, shouldn't we say the cat is chased by the dog?
Let me try that again. Let me look at the sentence again. The dog chased the cat. Ah, yeah. So yeah, did it. I did it in maybe a little bit too quick, and I didn't notice. Yeah, here I kind of changed the tense, and I already used the be was. So yeah. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's uh, it's true. It's more correct if we do it this way. There are lots of tenses that I haven't taken into consideration, but yeah. Okay. Any other question? Okay. Well then, thank you very much, guys, for participating and everything. And I'm very terribly sorry I didn't see it. But yeah, so if everything is clear, we will see each other, inshallah, in the exam. Don't worry, it will be very easy. It will be very. I won't include too many traps or anything. No, just kidding. I won't do any traps or anything. It will be a simple exam. Okay, well then, take care of yourselves and good luck for the exams. Yeah, have a great day.